actually waiting because September and October certainly is volatile, right? And I think this year is no different. And then you have the election and that sort of thing. And I think what's going on here, we've been talking about it. You have this push-pull going on in the marketplace. You have better than expected economic data in several parts of the economy versus the fiscal negotiations, and that is every day. And also we have the elections coming up. So I think you have a little dry powder, and then you pick your spots. You pick your favorite names. Quite frankly, today was kind of quiet, Sarah, right? I mean, you had initial claims. They missed, but not by much. And the 4-week moving average is still lower. And so I think the story of today, though, was very encouraging to me, was Restoration Hardware. You just talked about it in the last block. The quarter was outstanding, but it reemphasizes a theme that I have been talking about for a very long time, and that is housing and housing strength. It's 10% of GDP, but there's a multiplier effect, right? You buy a house, and then you got to put stuff in it. Clearly, Restoration Hardware is seeing it, but there are so many other companies like Stanley Black & Decker, D.R. Horton, PPG, Home Depot. Those are all names that I've talked about, did a bunch of last chance trades on them on your program. So I think that given all the data that we're seeing, pending home sales up 15%, permits up 19%, new home sales at 2006 levels, the best levels since 2006. So I think those trends continue, and that is encouraging. So I'm just kind of keeping calm, patient, and I'll pick my spots on where I want to add.
Mike, is it a concern to see all 11 sectors now in the red, having opened in the green today?
Obviously, it's worse than otherwise. I mean, it's not as if everything's down commensurately, though. Yes, everything is pretty negative because the big index stocks did have a lot of downside pressure on them. But if you look at the equal-weighted S&P is down about 1%, and you have the NASDAQ 100 down 2% or so. So effectively, the stuff that was most crowded and basically got most extreme and overshot the most in August continues to come out. Pullbacks, this is a reminder, it's a process, it's not a moment. And so today we kind of again bumped along the lows from a couple of days ago. I don't know that there's a way to say, OK, finally we're done. We've cleaned up a lot of whatever needed to be cleaned up. I do agree with the general sentiment, though, that most of what's going on is not a tantrum about the economy, even though the economy perhaps might have stalled just a little bit in terms of the recovery pace.